Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Wolf and Jostar Talking, where I'm hopefully getting this in through pretty well because the audio wave isn't that big.
Why the fuck are you talking like that? Why?
Because I'm trying to get a good reading of the audio levels.
Ah, got you.
Bruh. Okay, that's fucking stupid. All right. So today, this week, we actually don't know what to talk about because nothing much has actually happened this week.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, Bravely Second dropped today.
We actually, before we started this episode, we actually went down to GameStop. I got a copy of Bravely Second. So, let's see, right next to me, freshly packed still. And also grabbed a bit of a dessert.
Freshly packed. Packed with this. Oh, yeah.
But I am very excited to play this game because I loved the first Bravely Default game very much. Didn't you as well?
And the Bravely Default was good shit.
Yeah. And what I had heard of the review, I just did a quick little review. I read a review from a guy that had played only 10 hours in the game, which honestly isn't that much for RPG. Apparently this big, I would say. But it's a good amount of like the original game, but in the first game, the side quests were you were following a side story, and then you would fight a boss in order to get their job class to unlock to use, right? However, in this game, you don't go a side story that follows a person or to get towards a boss. You try to get to a goal, but there's a choice in the middle of it and that choice decides which boss you fight. Like I think one of the first ones is like you either get a choice between either the thief or the red mage. So that's very interesting to me because then it's no longer just collecting all of them. It's making a decision of what you want. It's either making the moral choices that they give you or deciding on what you want to have as a job class so you can play through the rest of the game. Of course, I would think in New Game Plus they will allow you to keep all the ones that you've already unlocked so you can unlock the rest of them, but still. Jostar is also very happy. He finally got a new 3DS.
Yep, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it's been about 3 years since he has had a completely working 3DS.
Yeah, you see, my DS got totally fucked up and it got the ink screen of death. And basically what the ink screen of death is to me is you can't see half of the screen.
You literally could not see half the screen.
I still whooped ass in Smash Bros. Though.
It was fantastic. With half the screen still, he was beating everybody in Smash Brothers. But now that he's got this new 3DS, he's able to play all these different games that he's missed out on.
Yeah, I couldn't play any RPGs at all. I could play like 0 RPGs.
Well, not Xenoblade Chronicles X, but other than that.
Well, 0 RPGs for the handheld. No RPG handheld I could play because I couldn't read them.
Yeah.
And what's the point of playing an RPG if you can't read it?
Yeah, but I mean, he is now just playing the fuck out of this Dragon Ball Z game that I got a while back that he loves, but I think it's all right. But it just feels silly to me, and I don't like silly from a Dragon Ball Z game, even though it's kind of supposed to be half silly. It just feels too silly to me.
Me, I'm just into it because the combat feels really good. It flows well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm so happy I can finally play Fire in my face.
Yeah, you got that too. Birthright, you said you got?
Birthright, yeah.
Yeah, I got all 3 of them, but I started
fucking casual.
I bought Conquest, but I bought all 3 of them at the same time. Well, not all 3 of them. I bought the other one, and then I bought the third path when it came out. But oh man,
I'm gonna buy all 3 of them as well. I'm gonna buy the other 2.
Yeah, I just opened the Bravely Second, and I actually
that new game case smell.
Oh yes,
it smells like Square Enix.
Square Enix when it's good. Oh. But I mean, I actually do like the smell a lot because I have actually been getting a lot of digital copies of games. I forgot the last hard copy I got was Final Fantasy Explorers, and then before that, I don't think I got a single hard copy of a game for about 9 months.
Speaking of which, where's the case for that guy?
Yeah, we'll get that later.
Is that Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, that's just been there for a long time, bro.
Oh, I forgot about it. You know, Magic would really benefit from having a mobile app card game. What do you think? Like, I don't know. It's hard to find people who play Magic near you nowadays. So you would have to actually, like, be able to go online and play people in Magic.
The thing is,
without having to buy an Xbox game.
The thing is, there is Magic Online. However, they make a new game for each block set.
The fuck?
Yes.
Why?
Because that is how they do their games.
AKA, because their card game isn't making as much money, people are going to pay a crap ton for their video games. $60 a pop, please, to go play one set with your friends. And then get bored of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see you on that Darksiders finally.
Yeah.
Darksiders.
Thank you for spoiling my next playthrough. Because I've been having trouble with Dragon's Dogma, so even though I still haven't been able to get even up the second episode up, I will have to be starting another series, which will be Darksiders and Darksiders 2. Because I played a good amount of the second one, but I didn't finish it. So I want to finish that game, but I also want to play the first one, and I managed to find a small, sweet little deal.
Who doesn't want to play as Death?
Haha, people that like life.
Then you shouldn't be playing video games. Oh my god, Clash of the Monsters.
Oh yeah. Clash of the Monsters. You can actually look this up on Steam. It is a free-to-play game where it's supposed to be a little fighting game between classic horror movie monsters, right?
Fighting game, as in you're fighting the game to actually work.
Yeah. Somebody that did a great little showing of it was a guy named Jim Sterling. I would say to go check out his little review because I cannot do that justice. But their characters that they have chosen for their game are Living Dead from Night of the Living Dead, which is completely wrong. A
skeleton named Bones,
which they call is a Clash of the Monsters original, even though it's just a skeleton. The Invisible Man, which is literally just an invisible man. The only thing that shows him is nothing actually. I thought it was a purple light, but no, it's in the second screenshot. There's a same purple light, but there's no invisible man on the screen. They have Ichabod Crane, Wife of Dracula, Phantom of the Opera, and Headless Horseman, and Nosferatu. And I'm sorry.
Is Phantom of the Opera actually a horror movie?
Kind of. Technically, it's not even a monster either. It's just a person. Or I would say it's a ghost, but...
Man, get that shit out of here. He's just wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm. But
what is up with that purple filter thing they got going on anyway?
I have no idea.
I don't actually understand that.
But yeah, there is a Magic the Gathering game called Magic Duels on Steam.
Magic Duels, it looks so cool!
I mean, it is free to play. However, I know for a fact there's only a certain amount of sets that you can play from because I've tried this before.
How much did it cost? How much does it cost?
You can pay real life money. I don't know how much it costs for money.
Oh, so the game is free.
The game is free, but you have to pay to get booster packs unless you just go through a lot of playing through.
You mean like Hearthstone?
Yeah, Hearthstone has its next coming expansion, which I currently have almost enough for 28 packs, even though I don't have enough money for the expansion, the $50 for 50 packs and a free pack or free back. But I do have Overwatch pre-ordered, so hopefully when the open beta comes out, then we can get a couple videos out.
Hey, you already know we about to get some videos on that Overwatch, fam.
Yeah.
We got you. That's my waifu right there.
Mm-hmm.
New waifu. She's waifu too. Kerrigan's a waifu too.
Yeah. Oh, there's also a hero spotlight for Tracer because she comes out for Heroes of the Storm in the next 4 days, but you can only play her if you have pre-ordered Overwatch. So that was like most of the reason that I pre-ordered Overwatch, because otherwise I don't like pre-ordering games.
Yeah, that's the reason I pre-ordered it too.
I mean,
because I was told by my wolf to play Heroes of the Storm before, but I was too fucking lazy because I was playing World of Warcraft. Then I had issues where my brother broke my laptop, and now I finally have a new laptop, and I pre-ordered Overwatch on that guy, and now I'm about to actually try out this Heroes of the Storm when my boo comes out. Of course, I'm gonna be playing as Sylvanas, I think her name is.
Yeah, you gotta unlock her first, though.
And Nova, because Nova is awesome from what I've played on here.
Yeah, but
I actually sucked at Sylvanas though. I'm surprised my team actually won.
The thing is, you've played a couple of the MOBAs, right?
I played League of Legends.
Did you play a little bit of Smite too?
Nope. I played Paragon. But that doesn't feel like... Paragon feels nothing like any of these other games.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly. It's not flat for one. And it's got an action camera.
I see.
So you're like behind the character. Resident Evil style. Yeah.
Alright. But I would say that for MOBAs, Heroes of the Storm is the most casual MOBA that can also be one of the most competitive. Because for one, you don't have to worry about fucking items. You just have talents.
Most of the characters look fucking cool too.
And I feel like a lot of the characters are actually balanced.
And you know, what I really hated about playing League of Legends was the item system. Because it's like, it's clear that there was an optimal build for every single character.
Yeah.
That just did better than every other build. And you not knowing what to have, your teammates will literally cuss you out.
Yeah.
Even if you said you were a noob, your teammates would cuss you out.
Mm-hmm.
If you picked one wrong item.
Yeah.
Why are you going for attack items when you're playing a support character?
Bitch, don't tell me how to live my life.
You know, I really hate MOBAs though sometimes. It's like playing them because it's like everybody's such an elitist when they play those games. Like, I'm such a hardcore MOBA player. You noobs should get off of MOBAs. You fucking suck. And that's what I got playing League all the time, which is harder to quit.
The funny thing is that I actually ran into a guy like this in Heroes of the Storm, but when he told me that why do I suck so bad and I should stop playing, my only response to him that actually had them just like stop saying shit to me because I wasn't saying anything to him and he just kept spamming me. What I say was, so what are you doing on bots with me? We weren't playing against people. We're playing against fucking bots. And he was cussing me out because I was learning the game.
And it's like, I can't stand MOBAs because a lot of the time it doesn't feel like a team game. Because most of the time everybody just wants to be the top of the leaderboard. It's like, oh, you see a partner with like almost no HP left running away from a dude with like a quarter of their life. You go and kill the dude who was chasing them. You think, oh, I just helped my partner. I just saved his life. No. Next thing you know is I'm getting blasted. Why are you KSing? Stop kill stealing, nigga. I was like, we're on the same team. Our points go to the same place. What does it matter?
Not so much in League of Legends, but in like Heroes of the Storm, you have every kill counts for your entire team. You share a shared level system.
It's like, so I don't understand. It's like, I always hate it how somebody is in a MOBA. Just like in an MMO, somebody's always going to be forced to play that one role that nobody wants to actually play. Yeah. And that's support. Supports don't really get to do shit, and that's why I don't like supports.
Well, I love supporting in Heroes of the Storm because not only can I help my teammates, but because of the talent system, I can also buff my one offensive spell. I can buff that to high health and still be helping my team.
Yeah, that's another problem I have with like League of Legends, for example.
Most
of those characters.
That is like your support characters. They cannot support unless you buy specific items.
Yeah, and even with that, they're not allowed. If they attack, it doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because like my favorite support was Soraka, honestly.
Yeah, I actually remember how in League of Legends that you were getting you were getting no assist for just healing somebody. They had to implement a system into the game after a certain point where if you healed somebody that got a kill on a character, then you would actually get an assist finally. They
It's
had
like
to implement that.
it felt those kind of games are so boring when you're playing support. Just like in the MMO when you're the guy who's playing the healer and all you're doing is basically constantly healing because your friends are getting drained of HP while fighting the entire time and you can't do anything. It's boring. And that's why I like games like Terra where I could do both by myself.
Yes. Now this is actually a game that I saw the other day from a reviewer that I love to look a lot, that I trust for a lot of reviews, and this is a game that I saw that I think is going to be very interesting to play. I actually am thinking about saving up for buying it. It is a game that goes by the name of Battleborn.
The most badass game in existence.
It is by the creators of Borderlands, which makes this even better too because I love Borderlands.
My only problem with Borderlands is I felt like at the time I was way too underleveled to do anything.
Yeah, but I mean, it's this game is a bit like Overwatch. It's a first person. It's a bit of a first person kind of MOBA. Well, it's a MOBA in the sense that it's a battle arena, which is a MOBA. But people are thinking more MOBAs along the lines of just like regular 3 lanes and towers, which that's not what a MOBA is supposed to be because it's a massive online battle arena. That's what MOBA stands for. I mean, it looks fantastic. I mean, from the
trailers are funny.
Yeah,
That's what I got from them.
Have you actually seen these?
Yeah, I've seen the trailers for the game. They were all pretty funny to me.
Yeah, but the one of the best things about Battleborn is that not only does it have the battle arena part, but it has co-op mode of going through a map with somebody else, and you get to fight like a boss.
Is it a MOBA?
It's a MOBA, and it has a campaign.
So is it like a MOBA and Borderlands
crossover?
Yeah. Because me at this point, I'll only play maybe 2 MOBAs now at this point. Mm-hmm. I'll play Paragon and I'll play Heroes of the Storm. Other than that, I usually stay away from MOBAs.
Yeah, but I that's the same thing with me. But I don't know anything about Paragon, but I will check it out because you've talked about it a lot. But I will say that if I had to pick a third, I would say Battleborn so far is my third because just even looking at this trailer,
character design is awesome.
Yeah, all these character designs are awesome. They even have a whole lot of characters that like a girl that's the person that voices Tiny Tina also voices the character in this game, and it's just like almost the same personality, and it's just fantastic. From what I can see.
The nigga has a virtual tutu on.
Yeah.
But that's why I like MOBAs, but at the same time I can't stand them. And it's mostly because most of the ones I've played are unbalanced, and then the community is trash. And I hate the fact that like people, they have community guidelines, but they don't enforce them. But then these same people who break the community guidelines can actually get away with reporting you for sucking at the game.
Yeah,
I've gotten banned playing League of Legends because they reported me for feeding because I died 2 times.
The worst thing about a reporting system is that looking through it, there's like language, profanity. There's just like intentional feeding, that totally is not what you're doing.
And like, if you look at my character
harassment,
profile, it says like level 4, and everyone else says like level 20. And I'm sitting here like, it's clear that I'm new, right? Yeah. How the fuck would I be going around feeding? I just don't know how to play the game.
Yeah, but the worst thing about the report thing is that not along that they are saying that harassment is a reportable offense alongside of unskilled player. Like, a lot of times when I hit report, I will see there's an option for unskilled player.
Why can't you report somebody for being unskilled?
I mean, I guess what it.
You ban somebody from a bot game because they're unskilled. A bot game. It's not like I'm on your ranked team taking your ranking down because you're losing bot games. No, you're not. So why am I getting banned because I'm playing a bot game? I want to play the bot game to enjoy the character.
Mm-hmm.
Period. That's why I play it. Or I want to earn enough gold to actually get a new character.
Yeah. The biggest problem is that I can see it being a lot more enjoyable if you have a full team of 5 already. But the problem is, I don't have a full team of 5. I either have two. I either have me and Jostar here, or I have too many people that are always going to be wanting to be included. Like I can't. I don't have that balance of friends to be that who want
And it's
to
like
play.
we need to like make a circle table, like a miniature group or something.
Yeah.
That we just sit down together and be like, on these specific days, we'll be playing this team game. Let's practice.
I mean, I can't do that with my schedule either, and
I
could never do that with my
fighting games.
I mean, you can easily do that for fighting games because it's a fighting game. Usually, it's just 2 people. You just have those 2 people fight.
We have a team. It's I think 8 of us.
Yeah, but a lot of times
it's 1-on-1s though. I see what you mean.
It's still 1-on-1s. This is a 5v5 game. There is a 3v3, but at the same time,
nobody plays it.
The only time I played 3v3s was just because it was less people for me to less people for me to have to worry about being hassled by when I was going up the ranks in League of Legends, and that was easy for me. And then I went back into 5v5s when I got to the rank 30 with all my talents unlocked and still the same kind of people. It didn't matter what level.
5v5 is funny because somebody's always going to be fighting alone.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, is this really teamwork? Because I feel like somebody doesn't get looked after sometimes.
Mm-hmm. A lot of time, that's me.
Yeah, I hate it because the League of Legends is like, oh yeah, call your lane quick, and everybody instantly already has the lane like probably copy pasted because I always ended up as support. I'm just like, okay, fuck this game.
Yeah. I mean, I actually had League of Legends installed on my computer for about 4 years, and actually a couple of months ago, I actually finally uninstalled it. Like it's no longer to be found on my desktop, and I actually feel very glad about that.
Yeah, at this point, I didn't. Me though, when it came to League of Legends, I was forced to actually play it to begin with.
Oh yeah,
I didn't want to play it, but then there's this dude named Joseph, White Joseph, and
we called him White Joseph because we have another Joseph that was whack.
Yeah.
I wasn't part of the decision to start doing that. It just happened.
Yeah. So we called him White Joseph, and he would not stop bugging me every single freaking day. Hey man, we get on League of Legends already? It's on this game. And then one day, my brother invites him over, and he installs it on my laptop while I'm hanging out with friends playing Smash Bros. Because that's what real G's do, bruh. We go out and play Smash Bros. And Pokemon.
Yep.
Honestly, in high school, I would have to say I was probably the second worst at Pokemon next to Edmund.
Yeah, they don't know who Edmund was. Edmund is the butt of like all of our jokes. I mean, we did it in a lighthearted manner, but a lot of times it was us just trying to help him because he was one of those guys that was like, "Don't worry, I got it." He didn't have it. It's like he was also one of those people that, and I know a lot of people know you have known this person, where it's like, "Oh yeah, I have played this game for like 3 days. I can beat all of you at this." There's only one game that he actually beat us in, and that was Tekken. And then we beat his ass. Because
once I learned my King combo.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I mean, it was actually it was hilarious both in the sense that it was a game that we first figured that he was actually something that he could beat us in, and then he was trying to like talk all the smack that we usually talk to him, and then the next time he tries to play it, he just gets his ass kicked.
Netflix, you got that King combo. Grapples for days. Oh my god, he talks so much trash in Smash Bros. That I literally had to ban him from playing a character.
Because he 3-stocked him.
0% JV4 on him. Because he told me that he is a better Samus player than me. I told him, if I beat you without getting hit, you can never play Samus ever again.
No, the deal was that if you beat him without losing a life, he could never play it in your presence. Because you hit him in 0%, he could never play it again.
It makes sense in my opinion. I was like, pop off my shit. And then he has the nerve to say that Samus sucks.
Look at him now when everybody is clamoring to play Samus after all those nerfs.
Hey, they stopped after that first tournament result. No.
What happened?
She still can't fight top tiers. Meaning in tournament, she's still useless.
Well, because nobody learned how to properly play her.
Yes, nobody wants to take the time. But at the same time, I guess the problem with Samus in Smash 4 is she's so floaty that her problem comes when she's not on the ground. Samus has to be on the floor in order to fight you in Smash 4 because she can't land safely in midair. She floats down lighter than every character in the game for some reason, which makes her easy to juggle in the air. It's easy to punish her dodge.
And did I actually teach you how to get around that using her down B?
You heard morph bombs?
Yeah.
But even still, certain characters like Sheik and Rosalina get past that with their down Bs.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Rosalina. And since Sheik got a huge nerf, she ain't much of a monster anymore. But Rosalina took no nerfs.
Mm-hmm.
So Rosalina's still at the top. And then, of course, number one is Bayonetta. Taking all the tournaments. Got all these noobs. All these noobs playing Bayonetta and winning. And people are salty about it and trying to get Bayonetta banned.
Which honestly she could. She should be.
She's banned in Russia and in Spain.
Damn.
Right now. Russia was just recent, actually, where Bayonetta was banned from Smash 4 tournaments.
Rightly so.
I don't think she should be banned, but at the same time, they need to... I don't believe in nerfing a character. However, I do believe in fixing something that is broken, and in a fighting game, you should never die after one hit.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion.
And that's why they nerfed Corrin.
Fighting Zero Suit Samus, not Zero Suit. The problem with fighting Bayonetta is the fact that if she hits you one time, you will get 0 to death by a Bayonetta player. One who actually knows how to play Bayonetta. And they know what they're doing. You're going to catch a 0 to death. That's just a fact. That's what's going to happen. Into that stock. That's the problem. And she has no lag on any of her moves. Even if they up the lag on some of them, it really doesn't matter because she can safely up B everything. She has a 1-frame dodge, meaning she can dodge everything, including quick jab attacks.
And can't she
back to back to back?
Can she actually quick dodge counters that actually go off in like 2 frames too?
Correct, she can. And with that, she can perfect shield and a perfect dodge, which will allow her to turn into bats and move in any one of the 8 directions that she wants and be able to immediately act out of it.
And let's not even mention quick time, which pretty much means, or witch time, which means that if you try to hit her and she does that, and she does a it's a kind of like a counter move, but instead of attacking, she slows you down so that it almost feels like you can't move, and that's when she just does a 0 to death on you immediately.
Yeah, pretty much. All it takes is one witch time. All it takes is one dive kick, one down tilt, one neutral A, anything, one up B, and Bayonetta kills you. Period. That's how the game decided to work with her. Me, I'm saying that 0 to death shouldn't be a thing. However, this is Bayonetta, and she's a character that, after I thought about it, doesn't belong in Smash Bros.
I mean, the only way that they can make this fair is throw in Dante from Devil May Cry.
Yeah?
Because he destroyed her in Death Battle.
Get that shit out of here.
Yeah, I know you don't like Death
He
Battle.
would lose that fight. Period.
He blew her up, though.
The only reason they let him win that fight is because they gave him a weapon he doesn't even fucking have.
What do you mean?
He doesn't have his dad's sword.
Yeah, he does.
Trish does.
No, she gave
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm saying.
No, she gave it to him in the middle of
He
it.
shouldn't be able to use it anymore. But not only that, in all honesty, she could really just knock. They said, oh, you don't have anything to stop Dante or regeneration in general, other than the fact that you can punch somebody into the fucking sun. With regeneration, you can't regenerate if you're constantly being destroyed. That's how you win the fight. That's why when Wolverine was put in acid, he couldn't come back until somebody took him out. It's like you beat regeneration by giving continuous damage. And something that Bayonetta can do is knock you into the sun. Simple as that.
Well, she did it when the person was already in space. I mean, she would have to punch them through gravity.
Yeah, but she can.
But the problem is, will he let her?
That's another thing. But if you play the combat between two games, it's clear that she's also a better fighter than him. She can shoot with her fucking feet. She can fight with swords with her feet. She can fight with chainsaws as arms and legs.
But that's with magic.
That's her skills, though. Alone. And another thing is, Dante can also be knocked out. And that's another thing that people seem to forget to mention, because if nobody played Devil May Cry 3, I guess that's why they just forget that entirely. But the first thing you see is Dante get knocked out.
Well, we don't exactly know how long.
He got stabbed. And he was knocked out for about a day.
Well, I think canonically that actually takes place the first. So that's when he's actually at his weakest.
It's so stupid. They like to take half points, or they want to take. I feel like it's more of a vote system, in all honesty, where they would influence their points. Like, for example, you saw the Tifa versus Yang, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was bullshit.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell Yang can beat Tifa. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. Especially watching Ruby Volume 3, how her aura didn't mean shit to a sword. It didn't mean anything to a sword. She got her arm cut clean off and was knocked out from it at full aura.
Spoilers, sorry.
Oh, yeah, spoilers failed. Well, you heard it coming. But they said that Tifa's not durable.
I'll probably just put a spoiler warning in the.
Canonically, Tifa can take a supernova and still live from it. Canonically, Tifa can get shot up and be perfectly fine. So, and they're saying Tifa's not strong enough to hurt her? That's bullshit. She can destroy meteors with her fist. This is like Tifa would totally destroy Yang. Even in Yang's bio itself, it says that she's weak to kicking attacks, and people with more fight experience tend to beat her, which we've seen in the show before. But they had to come up with some kind of science. Oh, she can take 40 megatons of force because she got hit by that Mac, which happened to crush that pillar. But at the same time, like right after that, like after she got done healing and stuff, when she fought Neapolitan, she dropped her in like 3 kicks with no catastrophic damage involved. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, come on now, she can't beat Tifa.
And how did you feel about the Ganondorf versus Bowser?
Ganondorf would easily kill Bowser.
Well, the biggest reason of why Ganondorf lost was because why Ganondorf won was because Bowser couldn't kill him because he wasn't using a light weapon. Do you agree with that? At least logic.
I can agree with that to an extent. However, Ganondorf, Bowser doesn't have the skills to fight Ganondorf as well, in my opinion. Ganondorf is a master swordsman, as we've seen in Twilight Princess and in Ocarina of Time and in Wind Waker.
Don't forget
Ganondorf, mind you, they didn't even let him use his sword in that death battle. That's one thing. For a fact, he didn't use his sword anyway in that death battle.
Yeah.
So if he did, he would have killed Bowser that much sooner. In all honesty,
I think isn't like the next one. I know this next one is. I think it's supposed to be like Ratchet and Clank versus Jak and Daxter.
Oh yeah, they were talking about that. Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank. I predicted that if they ever did a Ratchet and Clank, it would have to be against Jak and Daxter.
And who would you think would win? Actually, I would like from
honestly
from a person that has not played either game and has seen a little bit of each. I would actually say that they're fairly even. Though I don't know like their like how much they've actually been through to compare how much they can actually take.
Okay, well, in all honesty, Ratchet is a genius. He's got the weapons. His weapons can do insane, crazy shit. That robot can control time in small bubbles. However, it seems as if for every weapon that Ratchet and Clank have, Jak and Daxter have a power, a superpower, that is the equivalent of that.
Very true.
So not only does Jak and Daxter have the weapons, but Jak also has invincibility and superpower forms.
I see.
So in all honesty, I don't know. Me, I'd have to give it to Ratchet and Clank. And the only reason I'm saying that is because Ratchet is a genius.
And I would also say just from that information, I would agree with you because it's not a power. It's just a weapon, and from what I've seen, they can pull weapons out of nowhere. While Jak and Daxter, I would say, would need to take a bit of time. They just pull the power out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Huh.
And he has invincibility as one of his powers.
Yeah, but with Ratchet being a genius,
Ratchet has a black hole gun.
Yeah.
He would just put him in a black hole and leave it at that. If he turned on invincibility, just take him out of the fight.
Yeah, I believe I remember seeing something like that in PlayStation All-Stars. That was a game we played with our friends as well.
Yeah, so in all honesty, I had to give it to Ratchet because he's smarter than him.
Yeah. But we'll just have to see how they end it.
He's the last of his super genius race.
Yeah, I will
say. Another thing playing instead of Bowser versus Ganondorf fight is Ganondorf's a super genius.
No, technically Ganondorf is almost a god as well, because he has died literally 4 times, like in almost any timeline.
All the time.
He has been killed once, and he still came back in Twilight Princess because. He died.
That nigga flooded the entire world in Wind Waker.
Yeah, I mean, he has died so many times, yet still managed to come back to life. I mean, even from Skyward Sword, he is the reincarnation of Demise's hatred. He is hatred itself. You can't kill hatred.
He's a king. He owns assassins. He owns the desert. That nigga can fly.
He owns the greatest song in any Zelda game to me.
Naruto Valley, bro.
I remember listening to this amazing remix that from a couple of years ago. I just had that and I just played that on repeat all day.
You know what made me mad though? You know Sakurai said his favorite character in Smash is Ganondorf. But he refuses to make him his own damn character.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Death Battle, we're sitting on the subject. Have you seen any of the 1-minute melees? They had Little Mac versus Hajime no Ippo. Honestly, that was the best fight ever out of all of their fights.
Yeah, to be fair,
Even regular fights.
I mean, you don't like Death Battle mostly because of how they end up doing like the results and stuff, like how they end up deciding the winner.
They half-ass information.
Yeah, I honestly agree with you with that, but the reason why but you don't watch them that much anymore, but I still watch them because I still like watching the fights and seeing the backstories of characters. I like
the Sam Fisher versus
Snake.
Solid Snake.
That
was one of my favorites. And Raiden versus Wolverine.
Yeah,
that was good shit.
Did you actually agree with the ending to the
Snake?
Yeah. Did you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I said Snake would whoop that nigga's pony ass, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Ain't no way Sam is about to deal with my boy Snake, bro.
Yeah. Plus he was the founder of wait, were they doing Old Snake or the new Solid Snake? I forgot which one.
Solid Snake.
All right, I was about to say because he was also the founder of CQC, but that's even right.
They also had whatchamacallit, Luffy versus Naruto.
Oh my god! Oh
it's
no!
The 7-minute one. Actually,
really? Is that the Screw Attack one? Not the one by Screw Attack?
Hit the 7-minute one. That's the real one.
All right. But the thing that I'm having a problem with right now, I just look up the Little Mac 1 minute melee, but then everything else is reaction channels. I think we should actually get this through just get our stance on reaction channels. I will say,
fuck them.
Yeah, I fucking hate them.
Fuck them.
Before I used to like them because I was like, hey, looks, somebody that I kind of like is watching something that I can enjoy. But then there's people, I saw more and more videos of people hating on reaction channels, and I'm like, let me actually check this out because I want to see their opinions on something. And then I started hearing this from people who are content creators who have had their views stolen, which is what they're doing. They're stealing views. They're
stealing content. Fuck the views. They take the person's content without permission.
It is like
they use it to make money.
There has been some.
They make money off of someone else's work.
I mean, there have been times where people have asked to use their stuff, but when they have asked I have looked at a couple of channels, and I've pulled a random video, and I watched from the biggest ones. I watched a reaction, one of the biggest videos from one reaction person that was about 2 million views, right? So I watched him and his reaction to it. I actually click on the link that people usually never do to the actual video, and you know how many views that video had gotten? 300,000. Our reaction channel got 2 million views of a video that only had 300,000 views already.
That's called bullshit?
Yeah. So,
right, hit that though. You gotta hit it. Because this 1 minute melee was like the best.
Yeah, I don't think that the volume should be caught, but Mac did the detailed side B detailed, the mistake and the KO.
Don't read that.
Alright.
Alright, it's on that 1 minute melee.
But it's 7 minutes, so is it gonna be 7-minute melee?
Oh yeah, like I said, they had Luffy versus Naruto, and then Zoro versus Kenshin.
God damn. Yeah, this looks like a long ass fight. Jesus Christ.
A good ass fight.
There is no 1 minute in this.
That's why I loved it. You hear this Sonic music though?
Yeah, let me turn down the volume a little bit. Huh, okay. Turn this up a little bit. Alright, so
I love me some Little Mac.
God damn, I just noticed the time as well. Wow. Alright. Jesus. Alright, so we got Little Mac showing off.
Hippo, walking in, my boy, anime swagger.
Dang. Yeah, you gotta do the commentary while I pay attention.
Anime swagger. Anime swagger. Got them anime muscles.
Did they actually animate all this themselves? Because this looks really well done.
Chuck Lewis.
No, he doesn't.
It's voice acting.
They sound like the same person.
That's because they probably are.
True. I'm sorry that we're not gonna have much talking, but this is the video that I haven't seen that I just want to see a little bit of. Jesus Christ, they went straight in for the double punch. Whoa, that was a haymaker. Wait, is Ippo from a fighting game as well?
No, Ippo is from.
Damn! Oh!
It's an anime.
Oh! The guy put him up against the ropes and just hit him so hard that he flew back on the ropes, and he just got flung back into his fist. Jesus Christ. Little Mac, where's that slip counter? Where's that slip counter?
Oh my god.
Oh. Do that neutral B. Do that neutral B that nobody does. Damn!
Ouch! I mean, Little Mac boxed Donkey Kong in one.
Yeah, but Donkey Kong uses his shotgun, too.
You know what I'm saying? Donkey Kong canonically punched the moon out this guy.
Well, that wasn't a real moon.
Ugh! It's still, he broke gravity, though. Did you see that truth? That Shin Shoryuken? That power!
KO? Oh, there's gotta be more. Jesus Christ.
I don't understand the guy's head. Anyway, so it's just like, me, I don't like the fact that they choose not to do research on death battles, like from actual experiences. They tend to just go to Wiki real quick, is what it seems like, and it's kind of annoying.
Well, there have been a few cases where they actually read through an entire animated series to get information of a character.
What series was that?
It was one of their earliest ones, actually. It was one of their earlier ones when they were, I would say they were a lot better in the beginning. I think it's, they go through, oh shit. But I think they go through the same thing that a lot of companies do, is that they're fantastic in the beginning because they're starting up, they're doing their best to get bigger. But then they become a company, and then because they have all these people, they're not doing the research themselves anymore, so they can't fact check people because those people are the fact checkers.
Damn.
So they just go with what they're given. But I mean, at the same time, there's only a certain amount of people, and there's only a certain amount of places they can look before they need to get a. They need to make a deadline for their research, so they can't look at everywhere at once. They wouldn't need to have a full team of people on the clock 24/7 looking through all this information of a character. So I mean, while I can be, I can understand being mad at them for getting their facts wrong. At the same time, it's just not something that I can easily forgive them because they're still human. They can't look at everything at once.
You see, I don't. The thing is, when you have something as big as that, where people will use that as standing grounds, as total fact, you have to have your facts straight.
Well,
because people will often in a debate go straight to death battle for results.
Well,
and see death battle results and try and use that in an actual argument against somebody who's actually, gotten all their facts.
Well, that's because those people are stupid because they don't want to do the research themselves.
That's a lot of people.
I mean, that's
kind of the same as people
they also
comic book movies.
They also
try and preach to people.
They don't understand that they don't understand that this is entertainment, not actual facts. It's entertainment. That's what a video is in the end. A lot of times, a video is not used for making a video is not supposed to be to inform, to show everything about one person or another, and then explain why something is better. It's to provide entertainment, because nobody can actually be certain of something unless they are unless they are like the maker of something.
That's not entirely true.
So you're saying a fan can know more about the character than its creator?
Yes, they can. Look at Akira Toriyama. That's a perfect example. He literally forgets that characters he made even exist. He forgot that Launch was a character that he made. He admitted that in the interview.
Who's Launch? To be fair, she was irrelevant.
He forgot about Yamcha.
The fuck is a Yamcha? That sounds disappointing.
It is insane.
But goddamn, that was very good. That wasn't no 1 minute melee though. Shut your lying ass up.
That's what they call it, but you know.
I'm talking to them, not you.
That particular one was awesome.
Yeah.
It was super awesome.
Yeah, that was very good.
But yeah, they did Luffy versus Naruto. And they let Luffy beat Naruto.
I can understand that.
I can too, in all honesty.
Because that hockey plus those armaments and shit.
In all honesty, I want something that Naruto can do that can hurt Luffy first.
Other than just a simple ninja blade.
But that won't work on his armament hockey.
Exactly. You got nothing, Naruto.
I was like, I know Naruto might be faster than Luffy.
I mean, even a tail-piece bomb, all Luffy has to do is inflate, and he can reflect it back.
Yeah, not only that, though. Let's get on the fact that Luffy is so fast that he could outrun an explosion that he was the center of.
What was that? When did he do that again? I forgot.
Damn, I'd have to pull the manga up again.
Was it recent though?
Yeah, I could say like in the latest like maybe 100 so chapters.
That's a lot of chapters, bro.
I mean, there's over 700. Come on now.
At least it ain't like as early as Alabasta, because I would have remembered that shit. Alabasta, I will say that was some tense ass shit. I like legit when I was reading, like I knew that they were gonna get through it, but there were actual moments where for a moment I was like, I don't think they can do it. Like I legit thought that, even though I knew they go forward.
Man, it's like because Alabasta really wasn't. They're like, I didn't think that they're gonna, spoilers, beat Doflamingo in the newest arc. And Dressrosa, I thought he was gonna kill them.
Oh.
Because Gear 4th didn't win.
Oh.
And when Gear 4th didn't win, I was like,
holy
nigga, you were dead. He beat Law. He beat out Law's powers.
And Law has some of the most OP shit when you actually look into what it can do. To be fair, almost any fruit can be OP as long as you know how to use it. And
now it's time for that Marshall D. Teach, though.
Mm-hmm.
My boy Teach. He's about to go fight Monkey D. Dragon.
He's gonna fight Dragon?
Yes.
God damn. What does Dragon even do, though?
I don't know what he does. I don't know.
The one thing that I do have to say that I think is a bit out of place for One Piece is just having the letter D in your name makes you stronger. Because of the will of D. Like, D stands for nothing. It's just the letter D in your name makes you stronger.
Yeah, I honestly don't get that. I thought D stood for dragon.
So it's Monkey Dragon Dragon?
I don't know. I know that's what I initially thought D stood for. So I thought it was Monkey Dragon Luffy. Monkey Dragon Luffy. Monkey Dragon Luffy.
Or it should be something stupid like it stands for donut.
It stands for D. D-E-E. D. D's nuts. But yeah, it's like Luffy, in my opinion, if we take end of series Naruto versus end of series Luffy, I would give it to Luffy.
No, you mean current series Luffy, because One Piece is not over.
Well, current series Luffy, he just King Kong gun that bitch and be over with.
I mean, I think at the end of One Piece, at the rate it's going, Luffy will be the most overpowered motherfucker in all of protagonist anime series history.
I don't think anything's gonna beat Natsu. In all honesty.
What about Izayoi, actually?
Well, the thing is, what makes Izayoi so overpowered, though, is the fact that in his universe, the way they get their powers is what he cancels out. But I don't think that, for example, that wouldn't work on Goku for somebody who doesn't have superpowers.
No, but that's not his only power, because even in the human world, in the very beginning, you saw him pick up a pebble, he threw it, and it created an explosion.
He has super strength. That is true, but like I said,
no, it's not just super strength. He has super speed. He can withstand a lot. He can withstand a water god's attack. That wasn't a gift that he withstood. That was an actual attack that he just stood there and took like it was nothing.
He kicked that blast.
Well,
He
still.
kicked that shit out the way like it was nothing, and then he one-shotted that thing. He
Still.
one-shotted a water god in the middle of the ocean, no less.
Well, then he also axe
And
kicked
then he left.
He then
Like nothing happened.
He then axe kicked a laser beam that wasn't a gift either. It was a power of
Not
something.
only that, but that nigga can dance too.
Oh yeah. Well.
He's always got power. He's always got swag. He's always got skills. He's always just cool. His name is badass. Like, there's nothing bad about that character. It's like one of those overpowered characters that you can actually like.
No, and the thing is that it's not like he's overpowered. Like he's like, I gotta get stronger. No, he's like, I'm so overpowered. I'm gonna let you guys do the work because it will be too easy. Which is exactly what he does, and it just makes me love him even more.
Like, if you don't know who Izuyoi is,
it's from an anime called "Problem Children Are Coming from the Garden," aren't they? Which is an English name.
And you need to see it. You need to see it.
Period. It needs a season 2.
When I say
3,
Natsu is overpowered though, Natsu is so strong that at this point, at first he can only eat fire, but now it's clear that he can eat any element. And just cause think about this, Natsu gets Laxus's powers now. Now he has electricity and fire powers.
I'm gonna have to put in
Natsu
so many
can eat a rock.
spoilers.
He ate a rock and gained the powers of the tower.
What?
I was like, Natsu is overpowered. Natsu's so overpowered that he got hit by a move that erases him completely from existence. And because he has friends, he headbutted reality and broke it and brought himself back into existence.
Who the fuck does he think he is, Deadpool? He can't write himself back.
He one-shotted God of War.
What?
One punch. Natsu evaporated sand.
Excuse me.
Exactly. It doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Excuse me.
Natsu is honestly a blatant copy of Monkey D. Luffy, though, because he went away training, but his training was unknown, unlike Luffy's. And he came back with a scar across his chest, just an X scar, just like Luffy.
Actually, a lot of Fairy Tail was actually ripped off from One Piece because
the way it looks and everything.
The way it looks, even
his story
even the fucking smile Natsu has is the same thing that Monkey D. Luffy has.
It's like he's a blatant rip. Open vest, capri pants, shorts, sandals. Really, nigga?
The only thing he is missing is a straw hat.
And they replaced the straw hat with a scarf, a dragon scale scarf. That's it. Gave that nigga pink hair.
And gave him a companion.
Yeah, that's pretty much all Fairy Tail is.
To be fair, that's also the most useless companion because what has Happy ever done that's
he
been
made him
useful?
fly, I guess.
I asked you a good question. What did he do that was actually useful?
He made him fly.
Okay, how was that useful?
He couldn't hit what he was trying to hit.
Why couldn't he just eat a bird?
Because that's before they wrote that this nigga can eat everything. But I can't stand fucking Fairy Tail. Erza has an armor for everything. Her literal power is called plot armor.
Yeah, I tried to get into Fairy Tail, and like I could understand. I mean, the only thing that got me wanting to look at it was Plu, because I loved Rave Master, where Plu was originated from, which gets no love. I've never seen anybody talk about Rave Master.
It's because it's old. That's why.
Well, Dragon Ball Z is old.
Yeah,
Older.
but Dragon Ball Z is still going on.
No, it didn't. It wasn't before.
True, but the games lived on its legacy. They had a new Dragon Ball Z game like every year almost.
Fair enough. But still, Rave Master was...
It's like people buy games that told the exact same story. You know, I couldn't stand Naruto games playing through the tuning exams all over again.
And over.
I
And
couldn't
over.
stand that shit.
I'm actually waiting for their final Naruto game that goes through literally every single bit of the anime.
That shit won't even happen. The anime's still going. The anime is doing nothing but fucking filler arcs, basically telling us what everybody saw in the Tsukiyomi, in the Infinite Tsukiyomi, and they're showing us Itachi's backstory,
Really?
which we really didn't need to see anyway.
Really?
And then they got the Boruto manga coming.
Wait, really? They're actually still continuing on, even though it's finished.
Yep.
So what they're doing is
AKA milking money for more Ninja Storm.
They're milking. They are milking it.
Next Ninja Storm. The next Ninja Storm. Ninja Storm 5. Next Generation. With Boruto, Sarada, Chocho, Minaski, Shikadishi. That fat kid from the tournament with the bubble gum.
That one person that you get.
And all the Boruto the movie costumes. For the characters who aren't even ninjas anymore. Woo woo! And I'm tired of Sharingan being a problem in Naruto. Why the fuck does every bad guy have Sharingan? Like, even in Boruto, the manga that they showed, they had these niggas who had Sharingan, who were the bad guys. I was like, really, nigga, can you not do anything else? Can I see a Byakugan bad guy?
Neji.
Bad guy?
Well, he was
who's not dead?
Technically, spoilers again.
That ain't a spoiler. At this point, everybody knows Neji's dead.
I did. I'm kidding, but
He caught a big wood through the chest.
He caught a dick?
Kinda. Madara dropped his sack on the entire village.
Santa's sack? It's Madara Santa.
Maybe. He had red armor on.
It's like, ho, ho, ho. What do you want for Christmas? I want
these nuts.
It's like, I want a new set of ninja stars. Well, guess what you're getting? Infinite Tsukiyomi. Santa Madara.
But I couldn't do it, bro. I was like, I don't think Naruto stands a chance against Luffy, period, personally, because Naruto doesn't have any, he doesn't have any illusion techniques that he could try on Luffy. He can't physically hit Luffy, with physical attacks.
And he
could try Shuriken, but his Haki is way too strong. Hell, for all I know, he could probably just put Naruto out with Conqueror's Haki and be done.
Because
I'd be surprised if he could take a jet pistol from Luffy, bruh.
I would be surprised if he could take a regular pistol.
I mean, I'm not going to write Naruto off as that weak. However, Luffy
is incredibly strong.
He hits you
like a
so many times like a train. His attacks get stronger the more times he hits. Generally, when a person does a rapid jab, the attack gets weaker over time. No, he leans in with that shit. He goes from stance to lean on. He hits you so fast and hard, you can't see his arms anymore.
He hits you so hard that you would think that his gum fruit would be Nico Robin's fruit.
Again, this dude hit a nigga so hard he folded in an entire island on him.
Oh, yeah.
He hit him so hard that he folded in the island on him. Come on, now. And then Luffy's a tactical genius in a fight, but that tends to be the case with shonen protagonists who are really strong and dumb in general outside of a fight, but then they get into a fight and then they're smart in a fight. That's how Luffy is. That's how Naruto and Goku also are.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that much about them, but
no, that's kind of exactly how it is. They're all kind of dumb outside of a fight, or carefree, as I would say it. But then within a fight, if they need to be serious, next thing you know, they're tactically fighting, as well as they're powerful. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the fact that Naruto can't hurt Luffy.
The question is, can Goku hurt Luffy?
Well, yeah, he just blow up the planet.
He just blows up the planet. Good excuse.
I mean, that's all it would take.
But here's
or a Destructo Disc.
You do realize Destructo Disc has never hit anybody.
Except for when Vegeta and Frieza used it.
Exactly. Which makes the biggest question of who actually made it. Was it actually Krillin, or was he just trying to copy something that he saw on TV?
I think Krillin made the move, but remember, Vegeta could do it the moment he saw Krillin do it. Mm-hmm. Kind of like how Goku could do Kamehameha on the first try. That might be a Saiyan trait. Think about it, like Goten and Trunks learned Kamehameha just from being around each other and Gohan.
Or just laziness of not wanting to have somebody go through all that training to learn one move.
And that might be that too. And then Frieza has had death saucers already. And I don't know how long Frieza could do that, in all honesty. He never even saw Destructo Disc. So, he probably had that move forever anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when it comes to that, I'm sorry, Naruto can't take Luffy. Period. Granted, if you disagree, you could leave a comment telling me why you think Naruto could beat Monkey D. Luffy. Because as it stands, Naruto cannot beat Monkey D. Period.
But do make sure that you have at least caught up on what Luffy can do and his feats as well.
Because a lot of people underestimate Monkey D. Luffy. A lot of people don't know what he can do. A lot of people don't think Luffy's super fast, for example.
When actually it's not that he's super fast. He is super fast. It's just that you see him just a little bit faster than everyone else. But everyone else is incredibly fast as it is.
Not only that, let me get something straight for you real quick.
I mean,
Luffy got shot early in the series by a bullet.
It bounced off.
And it bounced out of him. If that's not piercing him, throwing a shuriken will not.
Well, a shuriken is actually sharp, to be fair.
To be fair, he's got hockey. Armament hockey. Which taped Don Flamenco's parasite strings. Holy parasite strings, no less. You know that thing that leveled a city in one swipe? Yeah, it tanked those. Straight up, like daggers in the chest. He just tanked them.
Mm-hmm.
That's how strong Luffy's armament hockey is. And he shouldn't even be that good with it. It's kind of like how Nin works. Like you can only get to a certain extent of power with a hockey type that's not inside your range. Or a Nin type that's not your own. But his hockey is so strong that he's got observation hockey. Let's put it like this. First of all, he could sense, see, hear, smell, and taste Naruto infinitely, no matter what, from a mile away, anywhere, because of his masterful observation hockey. And then his conqueror's hockey. He could just yell, and Naruto out.
What about Naruto using his Sage stuff?
He can still hear him and feel him. And Sage Mode, Naruto can't feel the pain. However, he can still receive the pain, such as when Pain laid down the pain on Naruto and stabbed him up and stuck him in the floor when Hinata came to come save his ass.
Uh-huh.
And let's be clear. The pushing force was enough to beat Sage Mode in a straight up fight. Just the force push, in a sense. Luffy does that just by yelling.
Really?
Naruto doesn't stand a chance. Period. At all. I'm like, oh, Naruto can regenerate. I'll give him that. Luffy is just pulverize him until there's nothing left then.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that is our... So that, I think we can call time for right now. Yeah, that's about an hour. So, leave a comment if you think you have something that you believe will be able to of Naruto that can beat Monkey D. Luffy.
Specifically from Naruto himself. We're not talking about Sasuke, because we already know how that argument goes. Throws out a genjutsu. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Granted, I think observation hockey would cancel out a genjutsu.
But since they're two different universes, we cannot compare.
However, Conqueror's hockey, even if he's in a genjutsu, he'll still do it in real life. Outside of it. So, if that's enough to stop Sasuke, which it probably won't be because of Susanoo.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, Sasuke's better than Naruto.
Yeah.
At this point as well. So, yeah.
But
if Naruto can do anything that you think can beat my boy Monkey D. Luffy,
leave a comment.
And no, I'm not a One Piece fanboy. Before anybody says that, I used to hate One Piece. give it another try because I realized that shit is deep and all of its characters are all well written, deep backstories, great. It's honestly a perfect anime. And when I say perfect, you can insult its art style, but I've learned to realize that its art style is actually unique. It's made that way on purpose to be unique. Just like Borderlands is a new age game that looks the way it does because of art choice. I look at One Piece and I realize it's just so unique. I can't take anything away from it.
All right, so yeah, leave a comment if you think that Naruto can still beat Muggy D. Luffy. Leave a comment if you agree with us, and leave a comment if you have an idea of what we could talk about next week, because there might not be much, and we were just going a bit on a rant of
We'll
whatever
definitely talk about Bravely Second since you're gonna be playing that.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be talking a lot about that.
So spoilers if you don't get Bravely Second by next week.
Yep, I'll make sure to be putting up spoilers from now on. Most likely in the title if we ever have spoilers. But I won't be specific on what the spoilers are. I will have a general subject as I usually do in the description. But until next time, see y'all.
Alright, peace out.
Where's that stop button? There it is. Bye.